Game on, ladies and gentlemen! The fan club against Feel the Heat. Alrighty. So, our best of 5 series today here in Europe, and things are starting up with, well, the fan club, obviously up to this point undefeated, trying to establish themselves all the way up at the top. And as we're heading into this, let's have a little bit of a look how this is going to work out for them, because right now, Feel the Heat is actually a team that can really pull off a victory every now and then against someone. So we'll see if they can actually make it happen right here. And as it turns out, Malfurion gets banned out, so we have Deathwing as well. A little bit of a problem here with the sound. I'm not quite sure if you guys realize that, but we currently don't have any sound in. We have the music though, so it should work, but for some reason it apparently doesn't. Either way, gonna fix it for the game itself. Deathwing banned as usual. Infernal Shrines, the first map. Best of 5 today. Maybe a little bit of Zeratul action, because we have a Dino in play, so we could see that. Also, of course, on the other side, we have something like Sammy, aka Tai, also trying to play Zeratul from, well, every now and then. So in this case, not banned out. Traditionally against Dino these days we see the ban against Zeratul, but this time this didn't happen. So instead we have now Vala currently banned. And that's actually a pretty good start into this. Infernal Shrines is a map where Vala absolutely dominates, and we've seen both teams play pretty well with Vala and around her. Instead we get Junkrat as the first pick. Lauber currently with Johanna, another fantastic hero for Infernal Shrines, simply because she has all the control over the shrine itself, a lot of survivability, and the AoE clear, of course, that you try and get together with that. For now, Hanzo as an early pick for them too, for some Grotta this time actually. Maybe a little bit mad that his Junkrat also got taken away from him. And X-Ray, yes, with Deckard Kane for them. I like it. Blaze playing, Wit playing Blaze. And that now puts us in the spot where they could shift Blaze around into off-tank position, or they could play him here as the main tank, which we've obviously now seen a few times. Lauber actually the first one to put Blaze on Infernal Shrines into the main tank position after he's been played for ages for on the off-lane. And he fits both slots, of course. So Mal'Ganis gets banned out. It's a little bit of a late ban even on him. Usually teams are focusing on him a bit more, but since, of course, the fan club got away with the Johanna pick, they're now just trying to limit the opponent's main tank positions. And when you see Blaze, you never really know if they're going to swap over, if they're still going to pick someone like Mal'Ganis or not. Ana gets banned, and that leaves us on the support side, still with a couple of really solid options here for the fan club, ranging obviously from Oriel with the new Resurrect, but again, Vala banned, up to traditional picks like, for example, Rhaegar would be one. But these days, yep, there's Rhaegar and there's Leo. All shall suffer. Okay, now with the last two picks that we see on the side of Feel the Heat. What am I going to get here? Feel the Heat currently still lacking a bit of damage, and they need another frontliner. So now they have to make the decision if they want to go and spec into a real tank, or if they want to keep Blaze in that position. And they pick Tyrael, and it's hammer time on top of that too. Very nice setup to protect the Sergeant, but if this is going to be something that will succeed in the long run, that's of course a different question. Still, Tai has to pick his hero, so far hasn't made a move there yet, and either a mage or of course another aggressive frontline setup would be pretty nice for them. He usually excels at those pretty agile heroes that he's playing, and has been playing for a long time. So with that said, we're jumping in, and our last pick is Li Ming. It's mage time. Not really a typical pick on Infernal Shrines for obvious reasons. During the shrine fight, you get a little bit of more limited value through her, but against Hammer, not really too bad. So they're gonna try and play this around resets. Let's go. First game of the best of 5 series. Infernal Shrines is the map. The fan club up against Feel the Heat. Game on, everybody. Alrighty, let's head into this. Heading currently on Rhaegar, we have Lauber on Johanna, Sammy aka Tai on Li Ming. No idea where he actually plays with an off account today. Grotta on Hanzo, Kopenhagen on Leoric, and on the right side, Ultralisk on Sergeant Hammer for Feel the Heat. We have Dino on Junkrat, Wit on Tyrael, X-Ray on Deckard, and Blade on Blaze. Alright, let's go. Infernal Shrines, first map to start things up with. Yeah, me likey, and let's see what they can actually pull off with this now. I mean, personally, I'm actually really happy that we have Deckard Cain a little bit more in the European meta, at least these days. And especially, of course, for Infernal Shrines, he's a very solid hero to play that can give you a lot of lockdown potential during any objective fight, and oftentimes even prevent the opponent from moving in too aggressively, just simply through the zone that he supplies. But, as you can see right now, for the early game, it's just a little bit of a poke in the middle, and Blaze orientates himself towards the top lane to face off against the solo laner of the Fanclub. So we're gonna have that Blaze and Leoric off lane, where at the same time everybody else starts the rotations between the mid and the bot lane. And once that the 1 minute mark kicks in roughly 10 seconds, camps are of course going to become a focus too. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how impactful Tai is going to be on Li Ming. Because as I already went over during the draft a little bit, actually Blade's pause gives us a chance to talk that a bit through. So once that you actually have the shrine area right over here and there's minions everywhere, Li Ming is going to have a much tougher time to actually get any damage in. You can of course try and take some of those minions down as well, but if it comes to kill potential, it's definitely going to be a bit limited. Seems like one of the players actually disconnected, so I think he's going to reconnect in just a moment. So for Tai, first of all, Calamity is obviously then going to become a huge tool that he can use to late jump into the fight, maybe get a kill, get a reset, and then make those plays. But at the same time, they're pretty much also thinking about Ultralisk on Sergeant Hammer. And whenever you have Hammer, for example, set up down here, when it comes to the first shrine, all of a sudden Li Ming has a better angle and can really try and play around that. So she's trying to go towards the edges of the shrine. There's a couple of other mages that you could have seen too. We've seen actually some of the newcomers in Division S lean a bit more towards Kel'Thas these days, which is a hero that even previously has been played a bit there. You can of course also try and play around Gul'dan if you really want to. That would be another really solid setup to not only get some wave clear and therefore maybe even the objective, but at the same time also get some hero damage in. And with the Horrify you have a good interrupt there of course on top of it too. But they decided that they already have all the wave clear that they need. And at this point, when you're looking towards Leo, he's of course going to be one of the huge assets here. Has Consume Vitality too. We'll see a lot of focus into the Skeleton Swing with later talents as well. That gives him at least some synergy. So wave clear on Leo is going to be fantastic. You have Johanna, which is still one of the best heroes to be picked on Infernal Shrines, because she can always set up kills for other players. Has the initiation with the Blessed Shield after level 10. And on top of it, is really, really tough to kill and has that added wave clear, especially after her level 4 talent that just helps you to get the control of the shrine. You have Hanzo poking from the back and Rhaegar even on top of it, here played by Henning, that can provide the lightning shield. And those tools together make for a team that has fantastic wave clear whenever they go into a shrine, and has also, at least at the front, the sustainability to allow them to take the position there. When you look over to the right, to the red team on the other hand, you still have the outside poke from Dino. So he's another one of those characters with Junkrat that is probably going to stay a little bit far outside of the shrine, doesn't want to push in too far. Probably one of the reasons also why Li Ming seemed like a good option for the Fanclub. And when it comes to wave clear, they are very much so banking also their hopes on the setup that Blaze can pull off here. When he goes in for the oil spill and puts it afire, then you always have like some tickle damage there. And of course you can in total, just through his abilities, get a lot of wave clear that's going to help them later on to maybe secure an objective for themselves. But as it stands, no objective has been fought over just yet. Down here on the other hand, the camp is being fought over pretty heavily. And both teams want it. And there's a little bit of zone control thanks to Junkrat. Rhaegar jumps in, but the camp is taken. Henning is in trouble and gets locked down by the old man. Good kill here. Takes the doggy down, that one eliminated, and with the doggy already dead and everybody else now starting to push a bit farther towards the top and try to of course capitalize on the situation. They have a camp pushing the bot side, they have a chance to defend the camp in the middle, and they're going all the way up at the top with Blade in a position where they can soak the experience again, and they pretty much have to of course. Camps are now also getting focused on, since the next objective is going to spawn pretty soon. They're starting to make the play for the Shaman camp. That's what both teams actually currently pull off here. Siege tactics are in. Of course, the hovering siege mode is another huge tool that Ultralisk will need for Sergeant Hammer. Soon enough, we have Meltdown at this point also. And at the same time, with level 4, the Charged Blast. So a little bit deviating away from the term for it, and also the Dominance pick, which has... it's still pretty often taken, but has of course from Blizzard nerfed a long time ago. I kind of still feel that I have to point it out because we always have people jumping in and asking why the talent isn't picked anymore. And even though those nerfs came through a long time ago and Trump for it was buffed a little bit, it seems worth mentioning. That, as it stands with the level 4 talent, here we have the cooldown reduction, and that's of course fantastic, especially on the Shrine, when you have these big fights coming up. And everybody is jumping in for the first fight here. And the red team with the tiny lead, but they still have to poke from the outside. Nice! Done with a jet propulsion, and that sets the kills up potentially. Yeah, Tai is still trying to get something, but the most thing that he gets out of this is actually siege damage. He's trying to get into a decent position so that he can fire through, but he can already tell that he has to venture really far out in order to get a good angle against the opponent's team to get some damage off. But they are starting to take the lead on the objective. Problem is that everybody's incredibly low. Nice mine by Dino. Junkrat definitely creating some space for the team. Everybody is just funning around here still. Good setup from Tai, gets the orb connected with a couple of minions and takes them down. Hanzo jumps away, but damn, 39 against 33, and it seems like the red team is going to walk away with the Punisher, but they lose their Arcane in the process. Lauber was for a moment hoping they could even get more kills in. Now they're starting to chase Wit on his... Whoa, the doggy! Nah, there's the kill. Okay, so they get the kill, and that means that 2 heroes are down. Usually I'm harping quite a lot about baiting the Punisher over, but in this case, if you kill 2 of your opponent's heroes, and you make all of that happen just in front of the gate, then of course this is a position that is pretty much unavoidable. But Punisher alone, without any support whatsoever, can obviously not really do a whole lot here. Doesn't even take a single tower down, so didn't even destroy the gate or anything. So, nicely done by the red team, grabbing the objective, but then of course losing 2 heroes in the process always hurts a little bit. And it hurt them quite a lot. By now, also with 7, Calamity is ready for Li Ming, which is pretty nice for her. Jumping in already for extra damage against Dino, but doesn't get that. Hovering Siege mode for Sergeant Hammer is now also on the menu. And the Swift Retribution, and that's a Hanzo kill. Nicely done. Set up once again by Junkrat. So Dino currently really doing well with all of his displacements that he currently kicks around, so that's pretty amazing. Leo is still pushing the top lane, and Rega Johanna have actually moved into the middle, so Blaze has to really rush between the 2 lanes to get all of the experience soaked and not miss out on anything. But it also means that the red team has an easy shot at getting the camp at the bottom of the map. And now pushing together with Sergeant Hammer is another great tool. Tai is still trying to get the kills here. And I gotta say, I personally really felt that maybe going into someone like Gul'dan might have given them a better chance of dropping Sergeant Hammer here or putting him some pressure on him. But Tai is currently really trying to work that damage in. Going in from the side angle to try and land the combo, and then ready for the Calamity whenever someone gets poked down enough. The level 10 abilities, despite everything that happened so far, are in their hands slightly faster than we see them for Feel the Heat. So currently just a little bit away from Heroics. It's not going to make a big difference, I suppose. There's also no real surprises that we currently have here. So off we go. There's the poke. Dino is just like trying to get the experience in, but we're still waiting for level 10, and there it is. Okay, so BFG trying to go for a little bit of burst damage here. We have also the old man again with the book, stay a while and listen. Yeah, no surprises here yet either. I mean, not really sure where we could have seen a deviation. I mean, it's pretty much as standard as it gets when it comes to heroics. Nothing that is like too crazy. But everybody seems to be just waiting for objective number 2 to really then play now with a full deck of cards, pretty much. So right now, top left, that's where we have the first camp taken. On the top right, same thing pretty much. And once again, they're trying to get those shaman camps timed, especially since the objective spawns bot side, actually. So that means as far away from the top lane as possible. And nice, Taya and Lauber already able to push through the bottom of the map and open that wall up a little bit. Tyrael comes in to defend, and he really has to. If he doesn't defend here, they're gonna get a lot more, not only the second tower, but they might even be able to get the fountain. And that's something you want to hold on to, because it allows you to pre-tap or, well, just simply tap during the fight. 2 kills against 2, so it's actually fairly even. And again, I kind of have to put this a little bit in perspective. The fan club obviously incredibly strong. They came in second last season, played in the grand final against Washed Up, whereas Feel the Heat is just trying to establish them a little bit, all the way up at the top. And off we go. Starting to jump in and see what they can pull off this time, especially with Ultralisk now being able to rely on the hovering siege mode. It's going to be a much better position for Feel the Heat. Ty is looking for the angle, but it's not really working as well as he probably would have hoped for. At least not now. And even though the blue team has the lead at this point, starting to poke from the outside, we have a really solid position for Feel the Heat. Trying to get the damage in. And they get quite a lot. They're also starting to catch up massively. Here's the arrow, there's the Reptile. Everybody just coming in with the old bunker already used, and a Punisher claimed again by the red team. Even the Sanctification had been dropped. Better safe than sorry, and they might get a kill against Lauber. He gets booped in, uses the Iron Skin in an attempt to rush away from this, but unless the Ancestral comes through, and it's too late. Little Doggy couldn't do anything here. Now Ty is in trouble too, but is able to make it out of harm's way. And down to the bottom of the map, massive bait on the Punisher, behind the fort even, but with Ultralis just shelling the shit out of the fort. There's nothing they can do to save this one. But then again, the fan club got the value out of the camp at the top and is moving in with Copenhagen and even Ty to see that they get some pressure onto the lane themselves. So it's an exchange in forts. Could be a lot worse for the fan club if you think about it. They lost the objective, but essentially it was just a trade in forts anyways, because they timed their top camp a little bit better and then moved in with Leo and Liming to ensure that the fort would actually fall. So level 13 talents come in from both teams at more or less the same time here, which gives us the Ancient Blessings again. And also on top of that now the Sword of Justice, whereas on the other side we now have the extra shield for Rhaegar, which is obviously always going to be a huge deal. Allows you most of the time to still get the Ancestral through, even if the target is focused heavily. A little shield can make all the difference between a dead ally and one that is barely saved by the Ancestral healing. Still fairly even in experience as well. And structural position obviously is identical right now. So there's not really too much happening there. But there we go. Once again, Leo at the top. Blaze is just rotating. It's a little bit of a different setup, whereas Leo is currently stuck at the top lane and trying to push it out more aggressively, and Johanna takes the middle. We have for the red team only one hero that rotates. They want to keep that 4-man in play as much as they can. First of all, to also shield Sergeant Hammer, but also because they have really nice poke, and they can use it against the structures, they can use it against the opponent's team, whatever tickles their fancy here, honestly. The topside pressure though, Blaze is just attempting to keep those catapults away. That's at the end of the day more or less his job now. The top fort is also the next one that spawns, or the top shrine, which means that only one team will have a fountain for the defense ready, or for the attack. So they're already there with 3 heroes trying to gank up on Copenhagen, who simply ghosted out of this. But with 3 heroes of the red team moving towards the top, that of course means that the bot lane is pretty much undefended, and that nearly leads to a kill against Ultralisk. Even the arrow gets shot down. That didn't hit jack shit. But they're actually getting the fort at the bot lane. If they can't destroy it, then they will at least nearly take it apart. But the flank comes in, and all of a sudden... Ooh, Dino blessed shield! Ah, but no follow-up. Lauber was immediately ready with the blessed shield and takes the fort down, but he himself has to be careful that he doesn't fall. The fight is still going as Sammy jumps out. So Ty trying to see if he can maybe still pull something off, especially against Dino, and there's the kill! Nice! Escapes with a reset on the teleport. Yeah, vision was important here. That was definitely something that Junker didn't see coming. So now we have 3 against 3, 16 talents already for the blue team. And with the Sanctification, they're trying to stay alive a bit longer, but it's a 5 versus 4 after all, and they have a huge problem here. But Copenhagen is about to go down, and Lauber doesn't look too sexy anymore either. So Johanna is dead. Copenhagen makes it out. That makes it a 4 versus 4 for now. And the shrine has already been announced topside with 16 talents now ready for the red team too. Yeah, it's an interesting game. It's a very close one as well. So this could definitely be one of those 5 mappers that we see within the league. For now, we have with Giant Killer, also another fantastic tool for Sergeant Hammer to really put a problem onto Leo and Johanna. Both of them will struggle against that. Scroll of Stone Curse is in as well. I mean, over here on those shrines, you're more or less guaranteed to get quite a few heroes connected to that if you can push in a little bit more to, for example, drop that right here. And as it stands, they're taking the early position. Johanna died last in the last fight, so she's also the last one to arrive at the top. And if the blue team can actually win this one, that would be fantastic. But of course, right now it's still fairly even, 15 against 15. As a jet propulsion in, Ultralis could do massive damage right now. Tyrael jumping out, there's the Riptire already. Yeah, that might have been a little bit too early. And trying to isolate Leo a bit, that didn't really work. The arrow gets dodged again, so that didn't do anything. Jet propulsion is nearly putting Copenhagen into a bad spot. Actually, as we talk about it, he's actually losing more and more hit points as we speak. So now with 16 to 18 points on the objective, the teams are still fighting for the kill, but they can't find it yet. A lot of heroics still up on both sides, especially the defensive ones. Okay, Bunker and Entomb more or less negate each other. There's still a Sanctification ready, and Deckard Cain can come in and put everybody to sleep if he wants to have a chance on that. But the position is slowly taken by the fan club. They're starting to push in. Oh, and there was a lot that Leo just got with the swing. 30 for them. Yeah, they're looking way better now on objective number 3. And yeah, they take the spot. And the big difference, again, I want to highlight this once more. This fountain, they moved back, they tapped at the fountain, and the red team couldn't do that. Especially on the amateur level, whenever we're casting Division 6 and 7, people underestimate how impactful that is. If you as a team move back together, tap the fountain, and then re-engage into the fight, it gives you a huge boost. You start to prod and poke at the beginning, you get the opponent low, you start to drop in hit points as well, you move back, you tap the fountain, and then you can move back into the fight, just to give one example. And it is highly impactful. So now they have the Punisher, they lose Leo, but that's always a trait that you can get away with. The problem is they didn't really trade too much for it. The old man comes in with his sleep, they're trying to take maybe even Johanna down, but it doesn't really seem like they can get that forward. And Hanzo gets dropped. Nice attempt here, shooting the arrow to stun our Junkrat, but as you can tell, this didn't work. Now at least Blaze died, so got apparently taken apart by the Punisher, I'd say. But with 6 kills against 4, we currently have a lead for Feel the Heat. They're ahead, and they're starting to go in the middle, drop another 4th on top of it too. 45,000 damage from Sergeant Hammer. Getting all that damage in is of course worth a lot. Tai, despite the fact that he has a tougher time getting those combos connected, is still the top damage in the game for the blue team. 40,000 for him, pretty much the same numbers that Hanzo has. And of course, he's the only one on the blue side that hasn't died yet, which is actually pretty impressive as well. Camps are taken all over the place, not really a high focus onto the mid-fort yet, but they could still start to push in for that if they want to. And experience is still fairly even. I mean, it's actually incredible if you think about it, because right now it seems that both teams will walk into level 20 talents at the same time, roughly speaking. The window shouldn't be too big for them. With that, Leo focus back towards the top. Chunk's just laughing around like a maniac. Like the maniac he is. And off we go. Lauber gets poked. Already starting to lose a little bit down here. In comes Jojo once again. Jet propulsion misses. Was a nice idea. But Tai dodged out on it. And with that, they should actually be able, thanks to Sergeant Hammer, to zone them out enough so that they can get that fort finally. Especially since Leo's at the top side. Blue team is realizing that they're slightly behind in experience, and they want to make sure that they hit that as quickly as they can. Level 20, of course. And that means that Leo is trying to side soak a bit more aggressively to get that 20 as fast as they can. The fort, on the other hand, I mean, it should fall eventually. They're still playing around it a little bit, but apparently they're also starting to be a bit worried that they can't make that play. And Dino has rotated topside because they have to deal with this pressure, since their own fort has, their own keep has already taken damage, so you can't really let that slide and wait for the catapults to push in. With level 20 talents, the ultra capacitors are already taken. Fortified bunker is in. Respect the elderly. Cannonball. Still the radiating faith that's getting grabbed now. And we have, of course, Buried Alive, the game changer. One good Buried Alive, all that you need in order to get mad value through. And that's what they're currently gonna be hoping for. A little bit of Buried Alive value with a good arrow maybe behind it. And a nice stun setup. Because, let's just face it, they have an insane amount of stuns. They have Hanzo's arrow, they have the radiating faith now, blessed shield. And they also have Buried Alive. So one good setup and they can drop any target. And that would be the ticket to victory and potentially win them the game. There we already are. Getting the first setup in. Sanctification. The arrow connects only with the tank in the back. And that's actually a couple of cooldowns burned down. Of course, you should still get the Buried Alive setup ready again for the fight, but the arrow is definitely down for this battle. So now with 6 kills against 4, Feel the Heat feels quite emboldened, and for good reason. And then the old man gets bodied. So much for respect for the elderly. No respect here. Hanzo comes in, gets the shot connected, and the old man just topples over and gets a heart attack. That's the end of Deckard Cain, and all of a sudden we're talking 4 versus 5. Nicely done. Oh, Li Ming. Li Ming. And Rhaegar is still holding on to the Ancestral. Alright. The doggy drops the Ancestral finally, but oh boy. Here we go. Wit is about to drop. Jump. Oh. What? 30 HP and he actually gets out. They sacrifice the Punisher though. They won't be able to grab that up, but still nicely played by them. So now with 39, they can even delay it a little bit more, can take their own camp in the meantime and then push through both lanes. So here comes Lauber, finally making the play, grabbing it. Everybody else, yep, it's time to collect all those globes and also top up that hit point pool. Top lane, that's where we're headed. And off we go. Mid lane. The defense is already there, and if you have not only Junkrat but also Sergeant Hammer, you always have a good setup for the defense. Which is what they're going to try and use here. So as everybody is starting to jump in, we have another 4 destroyed, and from a structural perspective at least, the fan club is now massively. I mean massively for sure. So everybody starts to go straight in for the keep again, and earlier it didn't really work out topside, but now they're trying their luck in the middle. And they have another pressure play at the top thanks to the Shaman camp. And the catapults that are obviously going to spawn at some point for them too. There's even a little bit more. 6 kills against 5. Fantastic first map, by the way. I mean, just reiterating again. It's game number 1 in the best of 5, and it's a fantastic one. We're 20 minutes in, not a single keep has fallen yet, and the defense that we see from Feel the Heat is just, yeah, I mean, it's just great. You have, of course, a fantastic setup for that defense with a lot of outside poke, and they're using it as much as they can to keep their structures alive here. Junkrat has now taken to defend the top lane, which also eliminates him from the mid lane fight, which is one of the reasons why the fan club actually stood around a little bit longer and was trying to see if they can put some extra pressure on. But so far, it's not quite working out as either team had probably expected. I mean, first of all, you think about the fan club. They had now 2 major objectives, number 3 and number 4, and they weren't able to take a keep yet. But from Feel the Heat's perspective, after they were able to trade 1 for 2 heroic abilities before the last objective started, they probably had high hopes to win this one and then go straight through the middle of the map. But instead, it was a quick kill against Deckard Cain that shut their hopes down. 61,000 damage down for Hanzo. Fucking Junkrat, seriously. And 70,000 damage here for Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, the next shrine spawns at the bottom of the map, and I would say the pressure is definitely more so against Feel the Heat, but they are holding up quite nicely. This double camp in the middle, that's a bit of a different story though. They should definitely lose hit points on the keep. Yeah, nearly a kill. BFG. Oh boy. That could be an Ancestral. Henning is actually kind of crazy. I mean, he waits for the longest time until he makes anything happen. Tai survived with 100 HP, less than that. And Rhaegar's just sitting there the entire time. It's just like, guys, I'm not going to drop my cooldown unless you're really dying. I'm not going to make that play. Bot lane now, even more pressure. Catapults are in too, getting body blocked here by the Khazra. Yeah, that catapult driver, honestly, that guy needs to be fired. That needs to be fired. When you tell me about, like when Andrew Yang comes in and tells me about all those robo drivers that we get in the future, I would welcome them in this situation because that guy has just no idea where he's going. So instead of actually contributing a little bit to the damage at the bottom and maybe attacking the keep, he's just stuck behind 3 Khazras. And you know, if you have one of those Tesla autopilots right there, he would recognize that there is an object in the way and probably right around it. So yeah, AI all day, every day. Am I, by the way, the only one that always has trouble? Like, when you're not going for an Uber, when Uber is actually banned, or other apps like this, and you have to take an actual cab, am I the only one who always gets that one driver that doesn't know how to use a navigation system? Or is that happening to other people too? It's honestly mind-blowing to me when that's your main job and you don't know how to use a proper navigation system and you have no idea how to drive there. But again, a little bit of a different tangent, nothing that we have to focus on too much because the fight is already coming in at the bottom of the map and it might be the last one of the game. Yeah, 23 minutes in and this Punisher is gonna hurt, no matter who takes it. So, yep, off we go. There's Blaze already taking a lot of damage. All waiting for the heroic abilities still. Blaze might actually be forced into an early bunker if this continues. Well, there's the setup. And no sanctification. I was thinking about it for a second. Johanna instead is down and they're trying to go for the second kill against Hanzo. And he gets out. But Leo, yes, the Ancestral keeps him in play. But it's a 5 versus 4 regardless. And this is bad, bad news for the fan club. Feel the Heat has a great setup here. And they are playing a fantastic game right now. And they are grabbing that Punisher. And the bot lane fort is already eliminated, which means that they're setting their sights on the keep itself. And that would be the first one to fall. They themselves have taken a lot of damage from the keep in the middle of the map. Top keep has also suffered quite a lot of damage. But they are still able to make that play. Now, the Shaman camp at the top, together with those catapults, this is really going to threaten the topside keep. And they have to think about how they want to deal with this. Either they are going to push for core now, or they simply retreat immediately after they take the keep. But they have to make a choice here. If they just let this slide, then the top keep is gonna fall. So, considering the position that they're in, they're most likely gonna make a play for core here. And so they should. But, well, let's go. There's the arrow into the back line. Condemn, follow up, blessed shield. Yeah, they're zoning them out nicely. Top keep, by the way, is falling as predicted. So the keep at the bottom is gone. Keep at the top has also fallen. And now the question, can they actually survive here? Can the blue team defend this? Right now they're trying their best. 30% left on the Punisher. Leo comes in with the Buried Alive, buys a little bit more time for them. The shields are obviously falling. But the Mortar Punisher is nearly taken down. There's the Sanctification. They're trying to rush it. They're going for it quickly, and the core is falling rapidly. But so are the hit points of the attacking heroes. They need to take the hammer down. And that's exactly what Li Ming does. 30% left. They're losing 1. They're losing 2. They're losing 3. 10%. And it's not enough. The Tyrael Explosion is not going to take it down. And we already have catapults on the opponent's core. 5% for Feel the Heat. Their own core is already suffering damage, and everybody is just starting to rush in. Even with the Sanctification and the Tyrael Explosion, it didn't work out for them, and they are going to lose this game. The defense of the fan club, just a little bit too strong. Absolutely incredible. And here comes the team to finish what the catapult started. What a setup and what a comeback as the fan club gets game number 1 locked in. Nicely played here. GG and well played as the fan club takes the lead against Feel the Heat in the best of 5 at Division S Europe. Game on! Map number 2, Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. The fan club against Feel the Heat, and after an incredible comeback on the first map, we have the fan club in the lead now. I feel bad for Feel the Heat. I really feel bad for them. They played a great game. They had a fantastic ending, more or less. And then it's 5%. We've seen closer ones, but again, 5%. And you lose the game as you can't make the core call happen. Good defense though, well done by the fan club, really well. And well, as we stand, we have Towers of Doom as our second map, so let's jump in and see what we can actually get from Feel the Heat. Are they now going to be a bit more angry, aggressive, and going for the first victory, or are they mentally a little bit broken after they just lost the game that they probably had marked down as a win already? We'll see. So off we go. In comes the ban against Deathwing. No surprise here. On the European side, Deathwing is continuously banned out. Or picked immediately on the first pick. It happens rarely, but sometimes he's let through. Malfurion and also ETC banned out. And there's the Zeratul ban against Dino. Towers of Doom is a map where they definitely don't want to deal with that. They themselves might have thought about picking it, but as I said, both teams have a great Zeratul player, so it's a bit more of like these first come, first serve situations. where you can or less guarantee that, I mean, Feel the Heat obviously knows that, so they would pick him very, very early compared to, I mean, previous months and years where you could wait with a Zeratul pick for a long time, but by now both of them are aware that there's a good Zeratul player on the other side. Junkrat gets selected again, interestingly enough by Blade, so I assume that we're going to have a switch around. Maybe the actual Junkrat player who's currently at the bathroom or something and said like, yep, draft without me, no problem, and we're going to swap later. Or they're actually going to play this particular style. So we'll see. I mean, either way. For now, on the map, there's Vala and Leo. Okay, Leo's going to be the he's rotating between the mid and the top lane. So he's going to just rotate around, side laner. And then again, with Vala, you might even consider banning Oriel right now. I mean, there's a couple of things that's really going to be annoying, because you can also possibly pick Zarya. A Zarya setup for the fan club would actually be quite nice, because they've done this multiple times in the past, where they just like set up a fantastic 4-man and then just body the bot lane. Oriel would be great, of course, with the 4-man as well, since they could aggressively trade with Vala and then resurrect. So, personally, I'm curious what gets banned out. If I would have to put money on it, I would probably say Zarya is the best bet at this point. I mean, there's other things you can ban too, a main tank, for example, duh. But Zarya, I would be a little bit afraid of that. Swamgrota really loves to play that. They played a lot on Battlefield of Eternity, they played it on Towers of Doom before. But either way, no matter what they ban, there is going to be a good setup available for the team in blue. And they actually banned Mal'Ganis out. So now the only question is, does the fan club actually play that card? Do they play around Zarya? Medivh on the other side together with Malthael, that's also quite powerful. Or at least can be. But this is a setup where you could in theory really just start to absolutely lock down some of the top picks to support Vala. There it is. Zarya didn't get banned, so it gets taken. And, well, Ana gets taken together with that. Could have seen Oriel for sure, but Ana, totally fine as well, of course. And that's a pretty powerful setup. Now, the one thing that they let go was the main tank, which matters in this case because Feel the Heat hasn't picked their main tank yet either. So there are still quite a few available, but it's going to limit their options a little bit. Yeah, there's Dukov and there's Johanna. Sukov is a nice touch here with the silence. And as a last pick, what do we get? Yeah, for Lauber on the front line, I mean, either way, no matter what he picks, it's going to be fine. You have Zarya, Vala, Ana, Leo for the rotation. For Lauber, it depends a bit on what they want to play with right now. If Waveley needs to be involved, this is only about the stun setup or whatnot. But yeah, for him, last pick, it's a Nubarak. Fair enough, bit more of aggressive stance than I thought. And that's game number 2, Towers of Doom. Let's jump in it without further ado. The second map between the fan club and Feel the Heat. Game on, ladies! The fan club against Feel the Heat. On the left side, heading on Ana, we have Lauber on Nubarak, Swamgrota on Zarya, and Copenhagen on Leoric. Tai, using his account Sammy, is playing Vala in this game. She was actually banned out on the first map, so this time they locked her in early. And then for Feel the Heat, they have X-Ray on Stukov, Dino on Junkrat, Ultralisk on Medivh, heading on level 1, straight into the Portal Mastery here. We have Wit on Johanna, and Blade on Malthael. Alrighty, so let's go and have a little bit of a look at this one. On level 1, Feel the Heat. I talked about it a little bit. Swamgrota really loves to play that style. They use it a lot on Battlefield of Eternity. Obviously, we've seen it with the Padre Grenade quite a bit in the past as well, but still, so far, so good. And off we go. A bit of a setup already early on in the game. Up at the top with the portals, there's obviously a lot of chase potential, and they're trying to go for Vala this time. Can't really, but Tai gets pushed back here. Medivh is always the game changer. He's always the hero that can just like change the entire setup, and they are playing incredibly nice right now around the Medivh portals and also the aggression that they can unleash with silence in particular. If you set a good portal up and Stukov already has the lurking arm ready to just lock everyone down on the other side, then you can just heavily invade and try and get the kill here. It also, of course, means that you're never really safe behind a wall, because your opponent can just come in and take you down without a problem. So now that we're looking towards the first camp, it's an aggressive stance from Feel the Heat. I guess that answers my question that I had during the draft. If they feel a little bit intimidated right now, or a bit frustrated, or if they just go and play aggressive. Aggressive it is. There's a lot of aggression from them right now. Super early invade, and they're just saying like, well, screw you. For that, of course, Malthael had to also rotate down, which actually matters quite a bit. So he was the one rotating down to the bottom of the map to ensure that they would be in this position. Down at the bot lane, what do we get here? Well, Dino, X-Ray and Ultralisk are currently taking their own camps. It's more of a defensive position right now, since it's more so on their side. We don't need the rotation from the offlaner top side. Wit has also rotated mid lane. They already knew that Zarya would be there. And more portals and more action. Yeah, Sammy is the one that they obviously would like to take down. I mean, at the end of the day, Zarya is going to walk away with a lot of damage in this game, but still, Vala is the main damage dealer. So if you're looking at this lineup, if you are Feel the Heat, you're mainly going to target Vala if you can get a shot there. Well, if the Nubarak, of course, goes a little bit far out, then you get that kill too. And that's the Nubarak already down. Nice kill. Junkrat with the final hit there. And this is off to a good start. And guys, we were a little bit worried about the foreman that we would see from the fan club. But look at the foreman that we have from Feel the Heat. They are absolutely budding right now, and they're trying to go for Swamgora now too, and he is massively in trouble. He makes it out, but oh boy. Junkrat just pokes the entire time down here. And then we have Medivh getting damage in, Stukov just silencing everyone. They are hyper aggressive as the first objective spawns. Level 4 talents are now ready for both sides, but oh yes, there's another invade, condemn, and Anna is in trouble. Ah, well, scratch that, Anna is pretty much dead. So there was a nice speed barrier from Zarya to try and help her out, but Granny can't walk that fast. So Anna down, Anubarak is back, and off we go. They go for the top left, top right have been exchanged. So they go for the lead, take another altar now. But I kind of like what we're seeing from Feel the Heat here. They are hyper aggressive at this point. I mean, this is getting quite nasty. Yeah, and these aggressive portals are always there. As I said previously, you set an aggressive portal up and Vala is going to be in trouble. You always have to question, can we actually protect her here? Like, Tai is just running all the time. Half the time, Tai is just running away from portals. That's what's happening right now. And they need to turn this around. They need to be the aggressors or they're going to be in trouble. And they know that, of course, too. Feel the Heat is doing an incredible job of forcing their game on their opponent. And Lauber is also just barely making it out. And this is the story of the entire early game that we've seen so far. One team just trying to escape while the other team is doing their best to just absolutely rush them across the map. But it's a dangerous game, of course. You expose yourself to a lot of damage, and if at any point there is an opportunity to turn it around, the blue team is going to use it, and that might be the breaking point. Wit is going to fall. He is down, so that's the first kill for the fan club. Nicely coordinated, what they have been pulling off here. Yeah, but the aggression is still there. And the slight lead, of course, also on the core points. But I like the way that the fan club is currently responding. They've been really patient. They found an opportunity. They went for the kill. They have another opportunity right here. Stun wasn't ready and they prioritized the camp. But it's going to be a great game. Again, the aggression. This time against Blade. And there's a stun and there's the kill after the focus. Nice setup. Great game. 2 kills against 2 in a very aggressive game from both sides. Now with also the Zealous Glare after Sins exposed. Yeah, and Medivh is just cheating again. Flying around and just spying on everybody. The NSA would be really happy to have him in the lineup. There's a level 7 talent right now also for Vala, so the multi-ship build is more or less finished unless Tai wants to make a move into 16, which I highly doubt with this setup. Wouldn't make a lot of sense. That was a bit of a cockroach interrupting the channel attempt. It's the only altar that we have on this particular phase. There's the dive in. X-Ray jumps out. Another slow from the boys in blue. And Swamgoroda is pushing them back. Level 10 abilities is what they're all looking for here. Zarya is actually not quite on the numbers that I expected from Svamgrota in this game. I mean, it's still early, but so far he hasn't really gotten a lot out of these fights. It's mostly Vala that is still poking with arrow and with multi-shot build here. And also, of course, Junkrat, who has a much easier time. But there's the level 10 abilities. Leyline as an option. Tormented Souls for Malthael. No last rights in this game. And now with level 10 on both sides, the interrupt is still there. They're still fighting over this. This is still objective number 2. They're still fighting over the altar. Blast Shield is in, and they tried the kill, but it seems like a Nubarak is going to walk out of this one. Already strafe being used. Tai zoning them out, and Wit gets caught, but he still has some assistance from Medivh. The portal saves him immediately, but the rest of the team is starting to fall a bit low. So they have to abandon the position, and Svamgrota is immediately on the channel, and there's nobody to interrupt him. Well, maybe Wit? Nope. Doesn't have the flashlight here, apparently. And that's another 4 shots fired, this time against the red team. But off we go. X-ray down, and nice. The aggression comes from Feel the Heat in that last encounter, but then it gets turned around them. Now Blade might also fall. Tormented Souls. Oh, but the kill. And even Wit is in trouble, but the portal is there. The entire time you have just Medivh playing around them as much as he can. Ultralis is doing a great job with these portal and shields. But he can only do so much, of course. 4 kills against 2 as the fan club is slowly turning this game around. Now we are looking at 33 stacks also for Medivh. Once that he completes his baseline quest, he's obviously going to be in a position where he himself can also do a bit more work. But off we go. Right now, we're looking at a setup where we have, well, first of all, 25,000 damage for Junkrat, 30,000 for Vala. And all the way to the left side as the camp spawns, it's pumpkin time. Yeah, they're trying to go for the pumpkins again and take them down here. Not sure that's gonna work out or not, but they're definitely going to give it a shot and see if they can invade that again. But this time the fan club is ready. They're like, nope, you're not gonna be able to do that again. I'm sorry, not gonna work out here for you. So each team takes their own side. Side laners are already starting to focus on the top and mid lane again. Leo's actually still here. Maybe ready to drop an Entomb, but they don't get that chance. And as Malthael has already taken towards the top, he needs to respond and help out there. And it's actually Junkrat in the middle that is trying to make this even harder because he pushes the lane out very, very quickly and pushes Copenhagen back here. So Malthael has now escorted the entire top lane value over there, and they just need to interrupt this. This is a ton of experience that is lost to the fan club. That's really well done. Malthael very early at the top lane, and then they escort the entire wave-ins. That's a lot of XP that they themselves just got and that they denied. Vala in trouble, but Nubarak with the save thanks to the Cuckoo. Leyline seal is in, and that's a big one. Nobody has gotten anything here. Reptile! And Tai might fall. Oh my god. Well, might, yes, but he didn't actually, so... Lauber is still in trouble, but he gets also the speed bubble and is moving away. Johanna has channeled the bottom altar, so that's already 4 shots fired. And everybody else is still fighting over here, trying to allow Dainu to get a channel. He evades the bomb, but on the left, Anna can't evade the kill. And that's another kill for the red team. Feel the heat, ladies. What a setup from them. Blade, I honestly thought that he would die here. But Blade is safe, and they get the channel, so that's another 4 shots fired. 24 against 32 in an earlier level 13 talent. Damn! Nicely done. Very well done here. So, yep, rotation already towards the top now, as Blade is making sure that this double wave is not gonna escape them. And down here, it's the same play that we've seen previously. Portals, 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 portals. Which is absolutely everywhere. With level 13 talents, it also gives us Bloom. The Carapace build of the Nubarak gets continued with the Eradicating Spines. Lauber, a little bit low, so is Sammy. They need to go for the kill, though, and they do. Stukov falls. Clutch one. They're trying to get the kill against the Nubarak, but they can't. And now Dainu nearly falling. In comes the rest of the team, though. And there's the Tormented Souls. And that keeps Blade in a position where he can do a ton of damage. Leyline is in. Anna is gone. Anna down. But the turnaround attempt against Blade. Nice portal, by the way. Yeah, trying to keep both alive. But that was a really good setup with the Entomb, too. Isolated him from the portal. Dainu. Oh god, Vala gets the RNG in there. Well, it's not really so much RNG, but the arrow just connecting the last shot. There was no one else to soak it. So now we have Junkrat and Malthael both dead. 7 kills against 4, but they lose on the objective. What a series. What a fantastic series. Game number 1 was incredible, and game number 2 is just an endless back and forth as well. More experience is lost at the top. Leo is moving in. He soaks most of it though. I mean, the experience globes make it possible. You can be a little bit more sloppy on your rotations right now, and he might have lost a few, but he didn't lose a lot. And since they've already taken the lead in experience, this isn't too bad for them at any point. There's the channel, and it's gonna be a 1-for-1. Even channel between the two. 4 shots against the left team, and there's another 4 against the blue, which puts us to 20 against 28, so still an 8-point lead for Field the Heat. Nobody has taken down a bell tower yet. The one at the bot lane for the blue team has taken damage though. Yeah, but they're setting everything up to be aggressive here. Massive shove. Yep, that one's really massive. Okay, nicely done. Oh, what a beautiful setup against Vala. That should be a kill. And it isn't. No! X-Ray nearly falls though. Holy hell. Oh, and Vala actually still going for the frost shot. Yeah, a little bit more outside poke now even available. Okay, awesome. Haven't seen that in Europe in a while, but that's actually great. So now she has even more poke range and the added slow on top of it. And gets the control right here. Poke, 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 poke. 6 days to Sunday. Level 16 is in. Epic enter. Has been taken by Nubarak too. And, well, off we go. With the 16 talent, we have the stable portal already in. That's going to make this entire endeavor even more annoying. The fight is once again unfolding right in front of us. And we have even Zarya committing to the heroic ability and trying to zone them out here. Not quite successful. Another big shove by X-Ray as he pushes the team back. And at this point, we're looking at 46,000 damage for Junkrat. 52,000 for Vala though. And it's a triple objective. So everybody's just trying to shift around and see where they can grab the altars. Top is normally an exchange, unless you want to make a sneaky play. Down at the bottom, it's a bit of a different story. Look at the kill count, by the way. Ana died 3 times. Ana, the hero that's always staying in the back line. Henning was just every time attacked by the portals. He doesn't like Medivh, not a little bit. Like, all these portals coming out is like, yeah, screw that guy. The interrupts at the bot lane, typical. I mean, now you're just trying to channel, and the opponent's team is going to push in with every interrupt that they have to prevent them. And look for a kill at the same time. There's still that 8-point lead that we had the entire time, which could be increased now by quite a lot if another 4 shots are fired against the fan club. And we are off to the fight. Dino is always keeping the pressure up with the channel, but now he has the attack. Yeah, Laubers already coming in from the side. Blade needs to be a bit careful. The portal is in. They're trying to make a play for Lauber a little bit. Wit is also starting to get a bit low on experience, on HP, so he needs to be careful here. Fountains are still up. There's the Riptire. And connects with 3. Doesn't really do enough damage yet. And Tormented Souls. Oof. He nearly died regardless of the ult. And here comes the Entomb. And there's Vala! And that's the kill. Nicely done. Leo has the last hit with the mace to the face, but still it doesn't change the fact that now Feel the Heat is down a hero again. The channel went also through, so that means that's only 4 points to divide the 2 teams on the core. 16 to 20. And both are making an attempt to get to 20 first, of course, now. Slight lead, not even half a level for Laubers Fanclub. Choo choo, yeah, pain train's coming, baby. Where's the damage actually for Zarya? Should be a little bit better, 30,000. Yeah, still nowhere near what Vala is being pushing out in this game. Not a surprise. Ah, what a kill. A Nubarak goes down, Exterminators came in, and the cockroach is dead. Ah! Poor Pumpkin. Already took the run up and was at full speed, and then it just gets his knees capped out below him. Yeah, that was a poor Pumpkin. Kind of looked funny for a second, but that run up amounted to nothing. Run up was the only thing that happened there. They are with 5 on the map. This is a dangerous one for the blue team to fight into. They're just poking a bit from the outside. It's incredible, by the way, that only 2 heroes on the blue team have died so far. The tank and the support. Those are the only ones. Everybody else is still without a single kill or death, which is incredible if you think about it, because the focus on Vala throughout this game was pretty nuts. Also means that Leoric didn't get any trade value yet. Okay. Fly like an eagle. It's all about wave clear at this point. 5 versus 4. No Entomb though. I was maybe thinking about it, but there's a single altar now at the bottom of the map. And that's where they have to focus their forces a bit. Here's our 5 versus 5 setup. Koma gets interrupted. Everybody is setting up. A little bit of poke, trying to zone out with the lurking arm. Alright. Going in slowly. Here comes the engage against Junkrat, who jumps out immediately. Shields everywhere. The speed up, of course, really helping. Double stun through an Uberak as they're trying to set something up for Sammy in particular. He's still looking for an opportunity and trying to poke from the outside. Frost Shot helping a lot with this. And there's the double channel, and X-Ray might actually get it. X-Ray, yes, he locks it in, and that's 4 shots fired. The fan club is down to 12 points on the core. Quest is completed on Nubarak's side, though. That means an extra 500 hit points for him, which he can definitely use. For Lauber, this is fantastic. Finally, he has a little bit more hit point heavy. But here we go. Off in the middle. Big push now. It's all about I mean, the bell towers at this point are becoming crucial, and both at the bot lane have taken damage. Bot lane is, of course, the most important lane on Towers of Doom, because you have multiple camps, double pumpkin camps that push through the bottom of the map and can attack the core directly. But here's the level 20. There's nothing on the map that's really too dangerous. I mean, boss is of course up, but it would be a bit of a surprise to see the fan club focus on it. Instead, they're stealing the pumpkin camp away, which makes a whole lot of sense. If anything, I'm surprised that Wid was even trying to go for that against level 20 talents. But there's the unyielding defender, rewind for a Nubarak, also nano boost upgraded into the nano infusion, buried alive, and the farfly quiver. It's all about the range for Tai. And they get that bell tower. They get the buried alive against 2, and Medivh doesn't care. He still drops the portal. He's like, yeah, you can bury it alive all day long, baby. Oh, that's done! What a beautiful setup. Junkrat comes in and pops him into the death zone, and then he gets locked down. Fantastic play by Feel the Heat. Great opportunity. They save Blade with the shield on Medivh. God, Medivh is such a nuisance here. It's actually incredible. Really, really annoying. 20 versus 20 now. Stukov with the push comes to shove. Radiating Faith again. Medivh cheats. Yes, we know. Thanks for the news flash, baby. And we have no one can stop death plus the extra oomph. Yeah, let's get that extra oomph in because they need it. They have the channel. And that's 3 shots fired only this time because they lost the bell tower, but it still puts the fan club into the single digits. 6 kills against 8, and they're stealing the camps away. They're going for all of them. The game is going down to the wire for the fan club. They won game 1, but again, keep in mind how they won it. Barely. With a massive turnaround. Just at the end, their core was down to 5%. Here, on the other hand, it seems like the Feel the Heat might finally walk away with that map victory that they were already aiming for in the last one. There's the setup, and they want Vala. This time they want Vala. And this time they're gonna get Vala, aren't they? Yes. Vala is down for the first time. The setup from Medivh was finally enough to drop the damage dealer. Still poking. Top side though, this one is also getting attacked. Minions are pushing in, but they want these bell towers, and they get the one at the bottom of the map. Bell tower already claimed, and now they can also recover their own on the right side of the map without any big problem. And then they should, honestly, if they hurry up here, they should still be able to defend the one on the left side. So it's a super, super interesting setup. I mean, Medivh already sees what's happening, so he can always follow them and provide the vision for the team. But this is now a lead for the red team in structures. And this makes this dangerous. Really dangerous. 5 against 3. You connect 2 and you have the game won. You get 1 altar and you get the boss, and you're also victorious. Yeah. This is getting extremely nasty now. Camp is taken. I can't really stress enough how important it is to have the vision with Medivh. This late in the game, the element of surprise is pretty much everything in these situations. Okay, Blade doesn't get stand out here. That's already Glens. Okay, Radiating Faith comes in. There's the silence against Leo as they're trying to get the kill. He's starting to ghost away. Dino has to jump out, but Copenhagen is low. Copenhagen is low and he might as well die here. Copenhagen is about to fall and somehow kept in play as Blade falls. Malthael is dead. Vala came in with a kill, and now Medivh is dead too. That is one of the key heroes for them. There's of course still pumpkins at the bottom of the map that they have to deal with, but the momentum is all of a sudden in the hands of the fan club. Not sure if they should even go for this. Medivh is the only one that's actually dead, because of course no one can stop death and Malthael is back. Oh, and that's a kill against Vala. Oh, wow. Feel the heat with the play here. Blade dodges out for a moment and then dies again, but taking down Vala was such a big deal. Yeah, Svangrotta is just firing away and boosting his own damage a bit. He's sitting at 58,000 right now. Vala is nearly at 100k. They're trying to go for wits, and he survives for now. Condemn! What a game! Henning is just saying, alright, I'm just gonna channel. Screw the bell tower situation, I don't care anymore. We have to try and lock this one in because we might still lose it. But they get the kill against Jojo. And now they have a 4 versus 2 on the map. And that should finally seal this objective in their favor. Damn. Okay, Cocoon is in. Junkrat, yeah, but that's 3 shots fired. Can they kill Junkrat? And the answer is no. 17 to 9. 22 against 21 on the levels. For a second I was just like, wait, what? Okay, Medivh is back to business. 3 versus 5. They're trying to hold on to the bell tower, but yeah. That's a big no. Especially with Lauber playing Nubarak and having the Beatles. So tower shots, that's not happening. The problem is that this one... this one was not made to last. Yeah, but there we are. 20 versus 20. 23 minutes in. Great series. Fantastic series. Are we gonna have another lead for the fan club? Or well, a bigger lead for the fan club after game 2, or is Feel the Heat now bringing it back? It's a clutch. It's a clutch situation. Definitely is. Yeah, Copenhagen, Laubers, Svangrotta and Sammy, the 5-man pushers, takes it. Okay, so it's 4 versus 4. But the advantage still goes to the fan club. Controlling the bot lane, as I mentioned previously, is incredibly important because the pumpkins are going to push through here, which is exactly what we're seeing here. They're trying to take it down. And this is, by the way, one of the interesting interactions. If you silence the pumpkins, they can't use their abilities, and they can't actually drop into the core and do damage. So silence, in that case, is incredibly useful as a tool if you want to make sure that you're not losing anything. So if you have Stukov on your side, you can more or less shut down those pumpkin attempts all the time. Then again, if you have Garrosh, for example, you can literally throw those things into the core and bridge the gap. So that's another one that's quite important to know. There's some really fun and weird interactions with those pumpkin cams that can be used and abused. Sammy working on that 100,000 damage. I mean, he has crossed over into the 6 digits, of course, already. Yeah, working those auto attacks in. Reed has to be super careful with all of this now. Here comes Blade again, and Blade might actually die. Gets the shield. There's already the cocoon, and the ley line keeps him alive. But Jojo is dead. Jojo is down, and it looks like it's going to be the end of Blade 2. That's 2 down. That's 3 down. Make it 4, baby. Yep, Stukov is dead, and this is all the momentum that they need. All of a sudden, we could see the momentum swing, drop another map on Feel the Heat side. They're starting to move in against the fort in the middle. They have already, or the bell tower, they have already Leo moving down to the bottom of the map, so that's an easy 12 points off the opponent's score. And they can go for the boss, of course, as well. They try to go for game here. Yeah, that's 6 shots already fired. Boom! And Nubarak with a zone attempt. Copenhagen could try and get the bell tower over here, and they're going for all the bell towers. They're going for every single one of them. They want to start the barrage. And they are about to do exactly that. Bell tower topside is going to fall, and if they then channel, it should be the end. I mean, what do you defend here? They're trying to do the middle. They're trying to take that back. But the barrage has already started. That's another 7 shots fired, and, well, I'm not sure how to tell you that, but this is going to be it. Over here, Dino's about to fall. Blade nearly fell. And with the last 2 shots coming in, this is game. GG, as the final shot is about to connect and Feel the Heat loses map number 2 against the Fan Club in this best of 5 series. Well played by the boys in blue. Game on, a 2-0 for the Fan Club. I mean, let's be honest for just a second. The score doesn't really reflect the series, because both of those maps could have been taken by Feel the Heat. Honestly, it's on the one hand impressive how the Fan Club was able to win both of the games, and on the other side you feel a little bit bad for the red team, since they are really fighting tooth and nail here and they haven't been able to win a single map. In theory, we could end up in a scenario where Feel the Heat is not able to win a map in the best of 5 and loses with an 0-3, which would be kind of insane, to tell you the truth. I mean, at least you deserve a map win or 2 against the Fan Club if you're playing your heart out like they do. But currently, it's impressive how much they push the Fan Club in this entire series. And Lauber and his boys, I'm not sure if they expected this much of a resistance here, but they... I mean, you can argue they got a little bit lucky as well. There's obviously a lot of skill involved too, but they also got a bit lucky in game number 1 in particular. Game number 2, gradually, as the game continued, you could see how the Fan Club started to take more of a controlling position of the map, and therefore well-deserved victory here for them. But as we're heading in, we have once again, the Alarak ban. Okay, Volskaya Foundry and Alarak gets banned out. That keeps... Can't even finish my sentence. Keeps Zeratul in play, and he gets picked immediately. So it's the Dainu show once again. He's just saying, alright boys, I got this. Dainu all the way. Let's see if Zeratul is strong enough to take down his opponents here. For now, Copenhagen on Blaze, Henning on Malfurion. That's our setup. And, well, what are we going to see for Zeratul support? I mean, we don't really see a lot of Abath on this map, but I just want to have one game where Dainu plays with Abath support and just tries to wreck the opponent's team. Pretty much the same way that we've seen it in the past from Tai on the other side. He already is a great Zeratul player, and then if you have a bit of Abby support with a nice symbiote, then pfft, goodbye. Okay, so X-Ray on Ana, Li Ming played by Ultralisk, meaning that we have a nano-boosted Ana in the game. Not bad. Not bad at all. And there's the Garrosh play. Okay, so Garrosh banned out, no throws here. But I honestly would say that from Feel the Heat's perspective, the only thing that they really need is any kind of stun setup so that they can get Li Ming into a good spot. Maybe Johanna on their end would be fantastic with like Blessed Shield as the ult and then getting a stun through. But I kind of have the feeling that the Fan Club is going to lock her down themselves. They already have Blaze, which is great. Zarya gets banned out. Yeah, better safe than sorry. That's not happening. Okay. And let's go. What's the front line? Are they picking Johanna now? Ah, Melganas, my bad. He was still up. With him being banned this many times in the previous games, I kinda thought he would be taken out already, but that's not the case. So Johanna is still up, which is great for them. But off we go. Chromie! Great skin for her, by the way. Little fake dragon, looking good here. Good poke. And has a timeout against Zeratul later on too. After level 13, that's obviously going to be a really important skill to have when Zeratul starts to come in to try and get the kill. But, yep, let's go. Where's our double kill? Dibbles! Okay! Ooh, are we gonna see Void Prison together with an Apocalypse, or what is that gonna be? Leo played by Blade, but that's actually interesting. Diablo Zeratul, is that really gonna be an Apoc Void Prison setup? Are they going old school on this one? I mean, so far it's more so the Might of the Nerazim, and Zeratul is playing like a solo style where they are individually trying to take the kills, not so much with the Wombo combo. And Nazeebo! Another hero that has nice block after 13, so that helps against Zeratul a little bit. But yeah, off we go. Laubers Fanclub against Feel the Heat, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3, Volskaya Foundry. A pretty epic series heads into game number 3. Laubers Fanclub against Feel the Heat, Henning on Malfurion. Wir haben Swam Grotta on Chromie for the Fanclub, Copenhagen on Blaze, Tai using his semi-alter ego on Nazeebo, and we have Lauber on Mal'Ganis. To the right side of the map, the team in red so far unsuccessful when it comes to locking down a point for themselves, but with pretty incredible play anyways. Blade on Leoric, X-Ray on Ana, Ultralisk on Li Ming, and we have Dainu on Zeratul and Wit on Diablo. Alright, so far so good. Let's go. It's actually, yeah, as I said, a bit suspicious having Dibbles in here. Seems like there's a good chance we're going to see one of... The train is in, ladies! Alright. Choo-choo! And it's a glorious one. Gets finally interrupted over here. But yeah, the kids are having some fun. Okay, so level 1, the Thing of the Deep. Now the nerfed version. Blizzard obviously brain farted a little bit as they completely overpowered the talent a while ago and made it so that you had 20% additional spell power. That was what brought Nazeebo actually back into the meta for just a couple of days, and every Nazeebo worth his salt took that immediately and said like, well, thank you very much. Free 20% damage, I'll take that. Yeah, Blizzard backpedaled that very, very quickly in the next patch and now has it on 5%. For each tier that you complete the quest, which is a little bit more reasonable, and makes the talent now, of course, still quite good. Because, again, you're a little safer, and you get the additional spell power, so it's a pretty good buff to the talent, and makes it a very strong meta choice now, if you play Nazeebo. We don't see him too often, but every now and then he sneaks in, especially on maps that you expect to go the distance, and, well, Volskaya Foundry is one of the maps where that happens a lot. So, if you see him played, then this is a good one to go for. But it's item time, so 1 minute in and the items are already taken. We're seeing the play for the... well, he's at the top. Bit of an isolation move. Lauber is very, very low though, and Zeratul wants the kill. On Dainu, oh, he gets it! Yeah, Dainu and Zeratul, it's a little bit insane. It was interesting to see that the fan club did not ban Zeratul out on the last one. We've seen a lot of bans against Feel the Heat. I guess they themselves were hoping to get a shot at Zeratul and use Tai to play him. But now we have to just simply ask the question if Dainu is strong enough to take the fan club down with his Zeratul play here. I mean, there's no question about the fact that he is one of the best Zeratools that we currently have in Europe. But is that going to be enough to take the fan club down? That's the bigger question. There's a lot of tools against him. I'm pretty sure that we're going... I mean, there's a chance that we're going to see Malfurion with the Twilight Dream to counter him a bit. He has stuns with the jet propulsion. You have Mal'Ganis. Then you have also Chromie with the timeout. Nazeebo with his ice block later on. There's a lot of tools that can make the life of Zeratul pretty difficult. But again, Dainu is insane. He had multiple games in the past where he just single-handedly destroyed an entire team. It was honestly incredible to watch. But if you can pull that off here, that's a different question. As it stands, we're going into control point number 1. And already 50 stacks for Nazeebo is very, very solid. So Tai playing around Nazeebo here is getting a fair amount of stacks together. That's not only great for his level 1 talent, but at the same time it obviously boosts hit point and mana pool and also prepares them for level 20, which they want to achieve here. Yeah, nice setup against Wit. Needs to be careful, it's heavily locked down. It's like, holy hell! They really hate him. And that's the end of Diablo. Not an envious spot to be in. He got locked down hard for that kill. Yeah, Lauber pausing the game. Not quite sure what happens there, if they're currently celebrating the kill and just like cheering or something. But no matter what exactly happened, that kill was still worth a lot to them. So, yeah, with the setup as we're looking into the first one, also we have now dominance taken on level 4. I'm still a bit curious to see the Diablo setup, and that's something we have to focus on later on. We have already the Soul Shield on level 1, so that's a small adjustment to what we're seeing on the other side, especially with Chromie being around and firing away the entire time. She went for stacks on level 1, 19 for once again the first time, and we have her also with the time troubles at this point. The more important thing, on the other hand, is that we have with Zeratul now also the Psionic Strength taken on level 4. So these entire setups with the builds that we've seen for Zeratul, it has been shifting around a lot. I mean, we went pretty much from a full focus into a cleave build that we had traditionally, and then simply trying to combo an Apocalypse off with a Ring of Frost, or sorry, combo a Void Prison off with a Ring of Frost on Apocalypse, to more so an auto attack style that Tai himself actually introduced, where you went Shadow Hunter on level 1, you could then still play around the Wormhole on level 7 or deviate away from it, but it was more so the idea that with Might of the Nerazim, you were the one to make the play, I mean, pretty much on your own. If anybody else chipped in, it was always a win. But these days, what we see a little bit more often is a bit of a hybrid build where you also start with a Greater Cleave. You have the option to go into level 16 talent with a Void Slash, and then you go, for example, for Seeker in the Dark here. You have your Psionic Strength, so we see this a lot more. It's a bit more of a hybrid approach that we have, and ever since all of that happened, Zeratul plays just in general have become a lot more flexible, especially on the build side. With level 7, we also now have Dead Rush, so this is pretty much the build that got established after Nuzibo saw a few changes from Blizzard. This is also when the level 1 talent, as I explained earlier, was so heavily overbuffed. And yeah, then they brought Nuzibo back to the highest level. But after it got nerfed again, he started to disappear a little bit more, but when he comes back into action, and it's of course on maps like this one, as explained earlier. Level 10 abilities, the Temporal Loop is already in. And, well, there we go, 99%, so the red team needs skills if they want to turn this around. Yeah, they have the items on the ground though, but X-Ray in the back is getting attacked immediately. Zeratul is looking for kill opportunities and drops Lauber a little bit low, but Wit barely makes it out of the fight. Blaze, then again, he doesn't make it out, and Li Ming uses the reset for a quick second kill against Melganis. Nicely done here. And Zeratul isn't done with this shit yet. Dino jumps in and drops even more HP off Gromy here. As long as you can poke them low and force them to drop the fountain or use the fountain cooldown, then you are in a great position here. But with them being so far behind, they are still not guaranteed to take this one. It's 99 against 87, so we're going to see another attempt to go for it, I suppose. Or are we? I don't think they can make it happen in time, no. And they might even lose Henning here. With Zeratul around, you always have to be careful. Protector number 1 for Feel the Heat. It feels familiar, doesn't it? I mean, it seriously feels familiar. Every single game that we've seen so far, the red team has walked away with an advantage in the early game, and then towards the end, they lost out. So now, as we have again Feel the Heat with the lead and even level 10, which brings us no combo, but the Might of the Nerazim instead of Void Prison. So a little bit more the style that we're used to these days. But as we have level 10 coming in, the top lane fountain is destroyed, the Protector is being put to some good use. So they got what they wanted here. Dino makes it out with 15 HP, but X-Ray on Ana is all of a sudden lost in the chaos and doesn't really know where to go here. There's the Ravenous Spirit, and that's the second kill. So yeah, Tai is popping off on the Zebo, the Witch Doctor, and look at that Entomb. That trapped Diablo, if anything. Like, I'm not sure if that's what Blade really wanted to, but he seems to be paid off. I have no idea how much the fan club actually paid him, but that Entomb did not help Diablo in the slightest. That was the end of him. It's actually nice that Diablo was at 98 souls, seriously. The death timers are so low at this point that it would take way, way longer for you to get the stacks together than for you to simply wait to respawn. So for him, that was fantastic. If he had those 2 souls still stacked and would have been at 100, that means that he loses all of it. But right now, he's still going to be fine. So from Diablo's perspective, this was the good moment to die. Could have been worse. Silver linings, pretty much. Okay, so off we go. At that point, move towards the top. Everybody is still in position. I mean, objectives are pretty much, or the items have pretty much been taken at the top lane, so it's now the safe position on your own side that you're trying to go for. But there we go. Now we're just dancing around here. Lauber is, of course, not afraid of anything here. We're just playing with the conveyor belt. And Ultralisk at the side is getting his damage in. Talking damage, they're actually trying to make the play for Copenhagen at the bottom. Dino is moving away easily. Now that level 10 is in. It's going to make it very interesting for him. Li Ming with a good combo attempt here. And on the damage numbers, I mean, Leo is getting a lot of drains through, as you can see. Romeo is heavily ahead in the damage department. Getting that poke in. But with level 30 now coming up, that's also where the objective should slowly spawn, topside. And from Dino, we have 11,000 damage for him. How much can he get away with here? I mean, he's also waiting for his chance now, of course. There it is. Timeout. Ice block is going to come in just a moment. Okay, bunker. And the entomb. Yeah, he's still trying to stay alive, but I don't... Oh, good jet propulsion. And they actually turn it around for a moment. Yes, no 13 yet for Feel the Heat. Good kill attempt, but it wasn't enough. After Calamity on level 7, we now also have the Illusionist. Here's the Mending Strikes, keeping Zeratul in play a little bit longer. Devastating Charge set up for Diablo. Already seeing if he can maybe jump over the wall here and get a kill, but nope, not yet. Objective is up. 13 versus 13. We're dead even on talents. 4 kills against 3. It's a close one again. There we go. Leo is still sitting in the middle, by the way. Getting the experience for his boys, as Copenhagen is already channeling the point. There we have it. Sammy... They both have now an ice block, or a variation of that. So it's going to be much tougher for Zeratul to get a kill. But even if he just gets the damage in, that will set them up for later on in the game. But there's the poke. Time and time again. Another healing beacon is up. Stun into the wall. They're starting to go for it. Zeratul still waiting to see if he can connect something. Jumps in, gets a cleave through, and immediately jumps back. Against Henning, that's of course the hero that he would love to take down. Malfurion didn't pick his ice block. Tranquility for him, so he can't even silence him with a Twilight Dream. And yes, off we go. Oh, Blade pausing! Yeah, he seems to have some trouble. He actually restarted the game between the second and the third map. So well, it's PC actually. So I'm not sure if it's a problem on his side or someone else, but this is a bit of an awkward moment to pause because Wit just now is trying to make the play. So he's actually, again, more so helping the fan club than helping his own team because now they can discuss how they're going to keep the target here alive. Not that it's going to take too much. The only thing that Blaze has to do, if the shit really hits the fan, is press the R button and drop the bunker. But the situation is one so that Ultralis can still get the kill, well, not the kill, but can get a combo in if he gets a chance there. But there seems definitely something a little bit wrong on the, I guess, with equipment on their side, no matter what happens. I also want to highlight something really quickly here because it's actually noteworthy. We have 166 stacks already for Tai. Tai is actually in an insane spot. So if this goes to level 20, which it usually does on the map, he is going to get this Violent Infection value. And since he has big Voodoo, it means that he is gonna walk away with a massive, massive hit point pool here as well. He's in a fantastic spot. He could nearly set a new record here for stacks in a competitive game. We have him with 14,000 damage, which isn't really a whole lot, but he's been mostly focused on taking down minion waves in order to stack more efficiently, as you can see here. With 71,000, he's pretty much contesting Leoric, who's currently at 73k. And once that we're heading into the later stages of the game and these fights, you will see this number spike up like crazy. So Tai is doing everything right here. He's just focusing on minion waves, he's focusing on the stacking process, and then later on in the game, he is going to be an absolute powerhouse. I mean, he already is to an extent. So dealing with him later on is a problem, and especially since his Ravenous Spirit already took multiple kills earlier in the game, so he's in a really great spot. Talking about counterplays though, we have currently 16,000 damage on Zeratul, and Zeratul is honestly the one that has to try and make the plays here. And so far what we've seen from Dino is an attempt to go for Henning. It's one of the reasons why Malfurion is this far in the back. If you look at this from a position perspective, let's zoom out a little bit more and check that out. He is the farthest away from the entire action because he knows that Zeratul is going to have a hard-on for him throughout the entire fight. Henning is one of the prime targets for Dino, and he is going to try and get that kill there, since both Chromie and Nazeebo have a level 13 talent to avoid some of the damage, and he doesn't want to deal with that. That's why Henning is so far back here, and that's exactly where he should be, as far away from the action as he possibly can. Dino goes in, but Tai is zoning this out, like fully. He's even attacking the wall now. So he is getting mad value. Nano boost and that damage set up. Apocalypse and the kill. Yes, that's where Zeratul now also starts to shine. Chromie is down. No timeout this time. They're trying to go for Wit. He comes in with another stun, but in comes the kill against Ana from Nazeebo. Nicely done. Blade tries to occupy them a little bit more, but that's the end of Leo. And that's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the fan club. Well played. And now we're at 180 stacks already for Nazeebo. Nazebo is getting absolutely ridiculous here. It doesn't really happen a lot that you can come in and say that a hero got fed completely. Heroes of the Storm, that's usually something that's more so reserved for League of Legends and Dota 2. But in this case, it's starting to honestly fit the bill. 16 talents are incredibly close now for the fan club. So they are about to grab an extra talent too. And Nazebo is sitting at this point at 192 stacks. Nazebo is currently looking at, well, 5,100 hit points. 5,100 hit points. Diablo is at 6,500. Mal'Ganis is at 4,800. So currently the main tank is Mal'Ganis and he has less hit points than Nazebo. 5,400 on Blaze, so Nazebo is starting to catch up with him too. Just to give you a bit of an idea, he's at 205 stacks already. And we are on level 16. This is objective number 2 that we're looking at right now. Leo at the top is trying to, well, stay alive a bit longer to deny the protector to them, but he can't make that happen either. They're already starting to poke Nazebo as he's continuing his stacking quest. But this is getting absolutely bonkers here. Absolutely nuts. And now with his level 16 talent, with Soul Harvest, he can of course increase that even more. I mean, look at this. With Soul Harvest, he's sitting at 6,000 hit points right now. Absolutely insane. But, well, off we go. There comes level 16, and that gives us the Void Slash. They're trying to make the play over here, as Lauber is also going for another healing beacon. Might have to drop it this time. Oh. And he gets the Dark Conversion through and stays alive. No problem whatsoever. Zeratul, visibly frustrated, is trying to get a kill in against Henning, and this time he's down. Good kill from Dino. Protector is still in play. 7 kills against 5. They're trying for more. But the Dark Conversion here was absolutely insane. Lauber was able to connect it, and that was just incredible. I mean, he went from 0 hit points to near to 100 in nearly no time. Nobody else died on the other side, but they're still fighting around this. And so far, the Protector hasn't really gone a lot. Sammy in trouble, and Zeratul wants the kill, but the ice block. And Li Ming gets it finally. Li Ming is saying, okay, I'm done with this shit. Gets the reset, and they get the kill here. They're trying to make the play for Lauber again. Here comes the delivery. Zeratul needs to be careful, and jumps out. Maybe they're back in. Yes, and they get the kill too. Li Ming with the reset, Zeratul with the poke and the cleave and everything. What a game again. 8 kills against 7. The Protector is down. The only thing they got is the top fort. Bot lane hasn't been attacked at all. We're looking at the damage output. We have Li Ming now at 33,000. And Zeratul is sitting at 27. But boy, they are just jumping around the entire map in an attempt to get kills and slowly starting to get ahead here. But this is pretty much insane. This is honestly crazy. So now they're making the play for Copenhagen again. Body blocks the Entomb! And this time he might actually finally fall. Even with the bunker being used, this is going to be tough to keep him alive. Copenhagen is down. Chromie was looking for a counter kill, but can't get that. Oh, the timeout saves Chromie, but not for long. She still dies. The combo with Zeratul and Nano boosted Li Ming is just too much. Both of the heroes at the same time are just going bananas here, but it's again the B-step on Nazebo as he's able to get another kill. Nazebo with 1 death, 27,000, but this is like the 4th or 5th kill that he already delivered, and he's sitting at 230 stacks now. Zeratul takes the top down. Dino and Sammy are just pretty much saying like, yeah, maybe not today, but this is starting to become an incredible game. 10 kills against 9, 19 on both sides. It is nuts. And Dino is just starting to pop off here. He's honestly preparing a lot of the kills that we're seeing from Li Ming here the entire time, coming in and poking away until heroes are so low that Li Ming can go in and get the kill, get the reset, and then snowball it even further. But it's just bananas. And it's kind of funny to me that Tai on Nazebo is obviously in the spot where he knows everything that Nazebo can do. He himself is one of the best Nazebo players in Europe. So the two of them going up against each other is just incredible, because oftentimes you can literally see that Nazebo is waiting for Zeratul to make a move. We have 250 stacks right now on level 1, and yeah, Vile Infection, once it kicks in, it's going to be really tricky to play around that. Okay, Might of the Narazine gets upgraded into the Twilight Falls right here. Now we have the Buried Alive. That's a great tool against Nazebo. But it will be really tricky. Yeah, there's the Violent Faction. And now we're going to see a lot more damage on both sides here. This is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot. Just to keep you guys updated, Nazebo has, together with his tool, 6,400 HP now. They go for Malfear. Oh, the Buried Alive! What a sweet kill! But yes, Chromie gets the kill against Zeratul. Blade is getting attacked now too, and Nazebo is just running rampage here. Jesus. Yes, the zombie wall! And he comes in with kill after kill. Damage spiking for him. 5-man team wipe as Nazebo comes in and Tai is just budding now. Violent Faction is a game changer. Please die. The ice block and he gets away. Oh god, that would have been just spectacular. The team can't take him down and then he commits Sudoku against the fort. That would have been something. 7,000 hit points on him. Holy shit. Yeah, the objective at the bottom of the map has spawned, so now they're going for that. But the situation is a dire one. 63,000 for Chromie, and the damage numbers over here are just solid. He's getting the kills in whenever he has to. He goes for the waves. Looking great there, but down to the bottom of the map, the fort is now falling too, and the red team is definitely pushed into a position where it will be really difficult to recover. That Nazebo level 20 is such a big problem. It's nearly as much of a game changer, if not more, than what we are seeing from Leoric once he upgrades his Entomb into the Buried Alive. And honestly, with a good Buried Alive, they might be able to get the kill, but they have to get everybody on the same page here. If they set a Buried Alive up with an Apocalypse and with Zeratul and Li Ming moving on to the targets, they can get 2-3 easy kills. And that's more or less what they need, because this is just hurting. Yeah, Nazebo is 6,700 without his 16. And once he activates it again, he is going to be in a great spot here. I mean, he's outshining the tank easily. Like, easily. It's not even close. So right now, they're starting to jump in again. Wheat is a bit low. That Entomb didn't do anything. And they're just bullying them. They're just absolutely bullying them through the bot lane. Dino's jumping in and out the entire time with a cleave after another, trying to get some damage in. So does Ultilis. I don't think they can go for Koa unless they get a kill or two now. But they're still trying to do their best to make sure that they at least get that protector down. Leo! Oh, and Leo's dead. Leo is dead, but so is the protector. Well, nearly 20% left on it. As long as Ultralis and Dino are still alive, it's a different story, but they're really trying to go for it. Here comes the Apocalypse. Dino is attacking Zeratul. Can't get the kill in, though. The shields are falling, so do the hit points on the Koa. Can they end it? 60% for now. The rest of the team is pushing in. 50. They're trying to stay alive and somehow defend it. 30, and this doesn't look good. Nazebo goes for the solo show against the Koa and easily drops that, and that is game, ladies and gentlemen. And a 3-0 victory for the fan club against Feel the Heat. What a series. GG. And well played.